Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi and today we are going to make a game, and in that game basically let me just tell you that what are the things that we'll be needing and what is the whole idea about that. So basically that game is not too much like advanced, or in that basically we'll not be using many libraries. Okay, that is a game in which you will be revising all of your Python concepts, whatever you have just studied till now, right? So the concepts which we have seen till now, this is a, like you can say, this is a sum of all that concepts in a single project, and that is basically a quiz game. Okay, so in that quiz game basically what will happen, a user, like a question would come to you, in that will just code a question and that question would come to you. You will be getting three chances to give the correct answer. If you just failed in that three chances, then it will show you that this is the next question. Okay, then let's say we are having three questions. Okay, so per question you will be getting three chances to answer that question correctly. Okay, and as soon as you just entered the answer as correct, it will show you that your answer is correct. And if you just miss the answer and you just give the wrong answer, it will show you that you have given the wrong answer. And this procedure will be continued for the three questions. Okay, as I'm just telling that here will be including three questions in this project. Okay, so this procedure will be continued for three questions, and at the last you'll be getting your final score, that out of this much score you have got this much marks, right? So this is the whole idea about making this today's quiz game, right? I would not be using any GUI in this. I would not be using any libraries in this. I would not be using anything. Simply, I would be using functions, and that will be user defined functions, not the built-in functions also. Okay, as I just told, this is a project in which you will be having a revision of all your previous Python concepts, whatever we have studied, right? Let's just quickly get started, and let's not waste too much of time. So here I have just opened my PyCharm IDE and I have just made one new file here, and the name for that file is quiz.py. Okay, let's start writing the code for now. And firstly what I would just do, I would just define a function here, a user defined function. Okay, I would just write def. Okay, so def is a keyword which is used for defining a function. Fine. And let's say my the name for my function is okay, I would just give my function as guess underscore name. Guess underscore name is the name of my function. Okay, and in the bracket I would be guessing, giving guess and answer. These are the two parameters which I have just passed inside my function, right? So whenever we just pass some characters or some integer, some words here, that is called passing a parameter into a function. Okay, so that is okay. Now next what I have here, I would be using my global keyword. Global keyword means that my program can access this keyword, this word, this variable, whatever I have, I will be writing here after the global keyword. My program, in my function, I can just use this global variable anywhere in whole of my program. Okay, that is called the global variable that can be accessed anywhere in your program. So I would be just giving the global, and here I would be taking a variable that is scores, right? So here I just gave global and then score. Now here I would just make one more variable, still underscore guessing. Still underscore guessing, let's say. Okay, it's still guessing, and I would just give it as true. As I just okay, I would just hold on for a second. TRU. Yeah, I just mentioned that basically you will be getting three chances to give the correct answer, right? If your first answer is wrong, it will show you that sorry, please try again. Then second chance again, sorry, please try again. And for the third chance, if you just gave the wrong answer, it will just redirect you to the new question. Fine. So this is the idea. For that, I have just taken this variable that is still underscore guessing, and I have just made it as true. Fine. And here I would just write take a variable that is attempt, and I would just take it to 0. So basically I have just, this attempt is kind of a counter in this. Okay, so this attempt is kind of a counter. Okay, so it will just count that how many attempts will you be getting, right? I just mentioned you will be getting three attempts, right? So in that case I have just written attempt is equal to 0. Now here I would just put some of my conditions. Okay, while still underscore, so STILL, while still underscore guessing and attempt is less than 3. Okay, so here I have written attempt is equal to 0, so that is why in this case I am taking it less than 3. If here I have taken as attempt is equal to 1, okay, so in that case I would be taking either attempt less than 4 or attempt less than equal to 3. Okay, because I just mentioned in the starting also, and again I am just repeating that we would be giving 3 attempts for a particular question. Fine. So in that case, I need to put my attempt till that condition only, that it will take only and only 3 attempts of my question. It will give me only 3 chances to give my answer as a correct answer for the question whatever I am getting, right? I hope you are just listening to my words very carefully whatever I am speaking. So as I just mentioned in the starting also, this is a like basic revision of all the Python concepts. In this you will be getting the revision and getting the whole idea that without using any libraries also, that you can even write a good program, you can even make a good project, right? It is not the case that you always use some libraries to make a good project. No, it's not that like that, right? Fine, and I just hope that you all are writing the codes with me, right? You have just opened your PyCharm IDEs and you're just writing that thing with me, right? So basically here in this case, you can just use any of the, like you can even use Google Colab also, fine? That will also work in this because none of the libraries are used here, fine. I just gave my condition that while still underscore guessing and attempt less than 3. So still underscore guessing, what I have just put, I have just put true. Okay, so basically what we do, we like usually write here while true, right? So in that case, I have just not done that thing. I have stored this true in a particular variable, that is still underscore guessing, and I have just written that variable here in the while condition. I hope you just got the whole idea. Fine. Now here I would just put some conditions for me, right? If guess dot lower, okay, is equal to answer dot lower. So basically here the thing is happening about the lower and the upper cases, okay? If guess dot lower is equal to answer dot lower. Now guess and answer are the like variables which we'll be making afterwards, okay? I would put a colon. Now here I would be adding print, and here I would be adding print, and I would just give some like some good sentence here, and I would just write print hooray, okay, exclamation mark, uh, you gave the correct answer. Okay, ANSWER. Fine. So basically, whenever my answer would be true, okay, whenever the like I just played this game and whenever my answer would be true. So in that case, this print statement would come displaying to me that hooray, you gave the correct answer, right? So this is the whole idea. Now, here only I would just write score is equal to score plus 1 because I need the final score at the last. I just mentioned, right, that thing, that at last we'll be getting what is the final score that you have just scored from this game, right? So in that case, I would be writing score is equal to score plus 1. So that is basically I'm just using my increment operator. You remember in while loop, basically what we do when we just want to print some numbers from some point till some point, let's say from 0 till 45. So we just put that condition, and downside after printing that particular variable, we just write a is equal to a plus 1. That is basically we are just incrementing that value turn by turn. Okay, so that is the same case which is happening here. So score is equal to score plus 1. And still underscore guessing is equal to false. Fine. So capital A, false. Fine. Now, my if condition is over. Now, I would just move towards the else condition. If this condition is not true, then what to do? Okay. If attempt less than 2. Now, if you have attempts less than 3, basically, okay. So, basically, in the first one, while attempt less than 3 we have given. So, here it was the thing. Now, if attempt is less than 2, right? Basically, if you have just given the wrong answers, right? So, let's say you have just given the first attempt. In that first attempt, you gave the wrong answer. Now, when you will be just coming, like just entering your value. So, after that, if you just given the wrong answer, then at that place only some statement should come, right? That you have given the wrong answer. Just correct that answer. Try it once more, right? In that case. So, for that, in this is else condition, I am writing if attempt less than 2. Okay, and here I would just write guess is equal to input, and here inside this input I would write the sentence that sorry, sorry, I would just write sorry, wrong answer, WRONG, wrong answer, and I would just write here as try again. Fine. So here in this case, if the answer is wrong, then this message would come that sorry, wrong answer, just try it once again. Fine. And here I would just write attempt is equal to attempt plus 1. So attempt is equal to attempt plus 1. So basically here in this case I am like incrementing the attempt, because as I just mentioned that only 3 attempts would be given. Okay, so in that case it is just incrementing that thing. And after coming out from this if and else condition where my while loop is there, so here I would just put one more if condition, and here I would just write if attempt is equal to 3. Now here in this case the attempt and like the answer which I have just given, right? In that case the attempt at the third time I have just given as correct. So if attempt is equal to 3. So in that case what I am just gonna print here. So I would just write print, and here I would just write the correct answer is, and here I put a comma, and here I would just write answer. Fine. So if the user has entered 3 times the answer for that particular question and all the third 3 times the answer is wrong, so in that case I would be displaying this statement that the correct answer is, and the like in the answer variable we'll be storing the final answers afterwards out of my function. Okay, so that is the whole idea about this program. Okay, so I just would like write I would just repeat this thing once more, that what I have just done till now, because it's a little bit of confusing, right? But it's very simple one. Fine. So I have just taken the score variable and just make it as global. Fine. Still underscore guessing is equal to true. I have just made it as true, and I have just declared a variable that is attempt, and I have just taken a value here that is 0. Okay. Now I just put my while condition and my attempt condition. So in that case, if at the first time, if the user has given the correct answer at the very first time, so in that case, hooray, you gave the correct answer. This line should be displayed. Fine. If the user has not given the first answer in this first attempt as the right and is you trying the second attempt, so for that, like this statement should be displayed. It's sorry, wrong answer. Try it once more. Fine. And moving towards the third, if the user has given the wrong answer for the 3 times, then in that case this output will be displaying the correct answer is, and then the answer. Fine. So this is the whole idea about this attempt 1. Now this is completed, and now what I am left with, now here I would be just declaring the score and then giving my questions the answers. So okay, so score is equal to 0. Now I would be setting my score as 0, right? Because score first score will be 0, and as soon as the user will be giving the correct answers, then the score will be like incrementing to 1 and then 2 and then 3. Basically what are the questions you have added, that depends on it, right? So score is equal to 0. Fine. Now what comes here? Okay, so now what is the whole idea, that firstly what I just wanted to print here, let's say I am giving the questions for the Python programming, right? Here what we are just doing, we are just doing a Python project, so and we are even learning Python programming. So let's say my title of my game is let's say the title of my game is okay, I will just write here as Python programming questions. Okay, PIONS. Fine. So let's say this is the title for my game which I'm just making. So that is Python programming questions. Okay. So in this I will be giving some Python programming questions to solve. Solve basically to give like basically these are one word types. Okay. So that depends on it. Fine. Now here I would be making different variables and storing different questions in that variable, right? So guess one is my first variable. So I would just write guess underscore one. Fine. Now here I would be just giving my answers. Like I would just inputting my question. So I would just use my input keyword, my bracket, and inside this I would be writing my first question. Okay. So let's say my first question is, which is the keyword used for declaring DECLARYNG, for declaring a function. Okay. So this is obvious that basically here we are just talking about Python, because we are making a project on Python. Let's say my first question is that which is the keyword used for declaring of a function, right? We all just know that thing, but here I'm just giving an example. Fine. After that, I would just make one more variable, that is check underscore guess. Okay, so in that I would be just like giving here guess one, And here what I would be just inputting, I would be just like writing the correct answer. So let's say the correct answer is dev. Just 1 second, just let me see that at last had I done any mistake. I don't guess. I like, okay, hold on for a second. Um, okay, check underscore guess. Fine, so my name of a function is guess underscore name. So I just need to write that only. So guess underscore name, fine. So guess underscore one, fine. So my correct answer for my first question is this def. Okay. So now if the answer would be correct for my first, if the user has entered the first question's answer as correct, that is def, then what here I have just used? I have used guess underscore name. That is the name of my function. So it will quickly go to my function. And here the whole functioning will start, as I just mentioned, that if the user has given the correct answer in the first attempt, it will take you to the next question. If you have given the wrong answer, then it will show you that sorry, you have given the wrong answer. Please try it once more. And you will be getting 3 attempts for a particular question. Fine, so this is the idea, right? I would be just adding 2 more questions for the example here. So I would just write guess underscore 2. I would write here is equal to input, and in the bracket, let's say my second question is what is the data type of, let's say I would just write 123.4. Okay, I would just want the user to give the answer of this question, but what is the data type of 123.4? Okay, and here I would just use my function name, that is guess, okay, guess, guess underscore name, and in the bracket I would use the guess underscore 2 variable in which my question is stored, and I would just write the correct answer, and that is float. Okay, that is done. I would just go back. Yeah. Now here like this only, I would just add my third question also, guess underscore 3, and which is equal to input. And in the bracket, I would be writing who is, let's say my next question is who is the father of Python. Okay, who is the father of Python? And I will just put a question mark here and I will leave some space. Fine. Even here I would be just using my function name and I would be just using my variable, that is guess underscore 3, and here I would be giving the right answer, and that is Guido van Rossum. Okay, yeah. So here we have just completed the input of the all of the questions and the answers. Now at last what I would be just giving you the thing. So at last we would be printing the final score, that okay, this is the final score of your game which you have just played right now, because whenever we just play a game we just play it, and afterwards at the last of the game we just got a final output, right, a final answer, that okay, this is the total for your total marks or total score for your game, right? So that we are just going to add here. So I will be just writing here that let's say your final score is, and here I would be just adding plus and str, and in bracket I would just adding the score, that is the variable in which we'll be storing the final score. So I have just made it to 0 here, and above we have just used that score, and here score is equal to score plus 1. Okay, so that is the whole idea about making this program. I hope you just got the idea that how we are just gonna make this program, how just gonna do this thing. So okay, firstly I would just run it for a while and then I would just explain you this thing once more. Fine. So just let me go above and let me just zoom in so that you can just have a proper look over it. Okay. First you can just see that we have printed Python programming question, right? This was the title for our game which we have made. So that is coming here. That I would just 1 second, I would just I modify at the title a little bit more. I would just make it a little bit more interesting. So I would just like to add some different characters and basically some different symbols here, right? So that basically looks more nicer. Fine. Now I would just run it once more here. Okay, so I would just run. Fine. So here you can just see that it is coming Python programming question. This is the title for your game. Now my first question is which is the keyword used for declaring a function. Let's say in the first time I would give the wrong answer. Let's say I would just write something as df. I just missed e. Okay, I would do enter. What it is saying, sorry, wrong answer, try again. Okay, it is asking me to try again. I would again try. I would just again write. I would again write the wrong answer. Okay, so let's say I just wrote do. it is again giving me a third attempt, right? This is the third attempt it is giving me, right? So again I would just write EF, let's say. So now it just told me that the correct answer is DEF, and then it displayed me the second question. Fine. So what it did, it gave me 3 attempts to solve a particular question, and I was not able to solve that question in the 3 attempts. So it displayed me that okay, this is the correct answer for your question, and now just move on to the next question. That now just deal with this next question. Let's say here I just wrote the correct answer for this question, that is float. Okay, float. Okay, so have I just written any spelling wrong here for the float? Just let me check that thing. Float. I don't like what is data type of this. Sorry, wrong answer. Try again. Okay, let's see that basically what is happening here. Again, do it enter. And here I would just write GUIDO 1 Rostam and then enter. Fine. So basically it is showing me in that basically I just made a mistake. Leave that thing. So who is the father of Python? So Guido van Rossum, right? That is the correct answer, that Guido van Rossum is the father of Python. So here it said me that hooray, you gave the correct answer. Your final score is 1 because I gave 1 correct answer and 2 wrong answers. So basically in that case it is showing me that this is your wrong answer. Fine. Here basically it is showing me because I have left 2 spaces. Okay, I need to leave only 1 space, that space which is automatically given from that side, but I just left 2 spaces, so that is why it is showing me the that you have given the wrong answer. Fine, let me just close it for a while and let's quickly run it once again. Right now I would just give the all the correct answers. So what is the keyword used for declaring a function? I would be just writing as this. Okay, so I just got hooray, you give the correct answer. My next answer is float. What is the data type? 123.4 float. So again I just got hooray, you give the correct answer. And who is the father of Python? I would just write here as, okay, I would just write Guido van Rossum and enter. So again it gave me hooray, you gave the correct answer and your final score is 3. Fine. So in this case basically I gave all the 3 correct options. So in that case it just gave me I just gave the first answer, it gave me this first answer is correct. It gave me that yes, you gave the correct answer, and then it basically displayed me the second question. This procedure continues till the third question, and at last it just calculated the score and just gave me that your final score is 3, right? So I hope now you just got the idea that how you can just make a very simple game using this Python programming, right? Here we have not used any libraries, here we have not used any GUIs or something like that. We simply used our functions. We simply use the global and local variables. We simply use the conditions. We use the while loop, and we use the taking the input from the user, and our game was made, right? So it is not the case that always you need some libraries for making some game or something like that. You can make a easy and simple game using some basic Python concepts also, right? So I hope you just got the whole idea and you have just made this project with me right here. And if you have just not done that thing, so what are you just waiting for? Quickly go and just open your PyCharms and start writing the code for this program. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and bye-bye.